Morning team, morning. Tuesday morning, lots of news on the way. Let's get into the chart so you can see the levels and we'll go over what's coming today. All right, hope you're all doing well. Daily chart, still holding the 5-day, still trapped between the 5-day and the top Bollinger. And like we talked about, we're going to start seeing expansion of these Bollingers because we tightened here. So this ball is starting to expand and this will probably start to do this soon as well. I want to be very careful today. We have major news on the horizon. Okay, there's JOLTS numbers, some news 9:45, 10 o'clock today, but more is the FOMC tomorrow. Now, hedges are saying that there will not be any rate cuts tomorrow, but they will probably guide towards one in September. Are we pricing all that in already? Time will tell. And then obviously we've got earnings as well from the Mag 7. So what I don't want to do is be buying up here. Okay, you can see the last good buys were down on this 5-day, the back end of last week. Yesterday, we've printed a bit of indecision, a big chop day, but we held the key levels. All right, all that matters is we held the key levels. We talked about it yesterday. Sellers had the opportunity to take control. They failed to take control and got trapped again. And that's led us to drifting higher. So if you watch the close last night, the last 30 minutes, you know, all those short sellers got forced to squeeze out. And then we've had some chip news overnight. So I'm not interested in buying up at this top Bollinger Band, okay? Because I know from this point here, we start to lack room. Now, maybe we get an exuberant day and we go. That's fine. They can do it without me. I will be buying somewhere off structure if I'm buying at all, okay? So just be aware of those higher time frame charts. Into the hourlies. All right, let's make sure you can see all this. Focus on this one with me. And let's just pull this down. There we go. All right, this chart here. You can see so far, this was yesterday. This is where the shorts got stuck. This was the covering into close. This is a base back over that key level yesterday. And these shorts are getting grinded out and grinded out and grinded out and grinded out. And then they're forced to cover new all-time highs. Question is now, do we base? Now, what do we normally look for? 2-leg, right? So if we don't base at this level here, which is a bit of a volume shelf and the old all-time high, if we don't base here to do this move here, which is very possible, then we'll be thinking about a 2-leg further and deeper down to see then if we put in a double bottom and to come back up and reprice this H1. You can see we're very thin in there overnight. Remember, all this volume is small, but in here, especially very thin. So they're going to need to protect this structure here, 575, basically somewhere around that. Failing to do that, it would not surprise me to see us come all the way back down into the low 500s, and then we have to wait to see if we find a bid. The danger of this move here, all right, straight down, is if this has very strong momentum, you cannot just bid against it because you do not know if they're going risk off into tomorrow. So be patient, please. You can see where the last, big chunk of volume was from yesterday, all the way down here, and it was a fairly balanced day. If this wants to come down and back test it, it can. All right. If we start drifting under here, longs are off the table at that point. All right. So we're either long from this opportunity or long from like a double bottom or an inverse head and shoulder type thing here. We wait for the reaction and we play this back up. If we get under here, I'm not interested in this market at that point because it can just do this again and leave an excess high. And then we wait for FOMC for something nasty like that. All right, so you've got the trade opportunities there. You can see it even better on a 30-minute chart. All right, London sideways, Asia sideways, London gapping up, coming back and back testing this old high. So we're just watching carefully to see how we operate in these levels. That's all we're doing right now. As we move down in the charts, you can see the levels that we had in from yesterday. So this is what I have currently marked out. Previous day New York high. Why have I got that marked out? Because on the ETFs, this doesn't exist. Okay, on the ETFs, we're gapping up, but there's not all this action up here. And I'm watching to see if we trade down into previous day New York high, just in case they want to hold that level. Otherwise, as always, we're looking at the key levels from yesterday, which is this balanced range, right? So we can afford to do something like this if it really wants to. What we don't want to do is get stuck in here. So we're looking for some kind of reaction here or here, which it's starting to do while I'm talking already. Fantastic. So that should have you planned out. If you want to copy those in your charts, if you haven't been doing it yourself, you can do that now. I'm going to move to all the other charts. One thing to note, all right, ES not at all-time highs, folks. All right, ES not at all-time highs. We have divergence because this move was based off Nvidia. So we are leaving these folks trapped right now. All right, these folks from Monday morning are still trapped. All right, we're back testing that. If we sell versus them, do not be surprised to come back down into here, because this could be the start of a rollover. I want to be careful about that. All right, it could be the start. If we reclaim this, and we think how we've got down there, all right, if they start reclaiming this, then obviously we're mega bullish, because we're going to let all these guys out and shorts are going to fight it. But it is possible. This is your level here. You're watching sort of 43s, 44, 45s, somewhere in here for ES. If they keep rejecting that, do not be surprised if they come all the way back down. And that might very well be strong momentum, because the way we've built back up, grind. If they get stuck here, they can take all these participants down. And we know we've got strong demand down here. All right, so just be aware of that. And it's the same story on the spiders. They're not at all-time highs yet. Very close, but not there. QQQ, obviously all-time high with a big old gap up. So we're watching as well. Previous day high, like I said, I've got that marked out for the New York session in case we do a deep drive. And gap fill is all the way down here. So why are we up high? Well, let's have a look at the mag. Actually, before we get there, one thing to note, VIX is absolutely puking. Okay. So VIX stayed in that range all of yesterday and the day before, all of yesterday, and then broke. All right, so now we have new resistance here at 15s. So if VIX keep failing up here and drifting lower, then what you're going to see is this, do this. All right, so we're using VIX for Confluence as always. Make sure I'm on the right chart. Okay. Let's have a look at the mag. Most of the mag are inside other than Nvidia. All right, Apple remains an awful chart to look at. Very tempting to buy this looking for the breakout, but earnings is just around the corner and it's just showing just a lack. And that's not all-time highs, folks. Once I zoom out, you will see. All right, a lack of impetus to get back up here. It's showing me bullish structure. Right, that's a nice hold. It's very tempting to try and get this move into earnings, but normally Apple runs up into earnings and then sells. So let's see, maybe this year is different. But trading inside. Microsoft, the same thing. Trading inside right now, gapping up or pushing up at the close yesterday, trading upside about 2 points or $2 up right now, gapping up a bit inside the previous stage range for now, but showing strength. Amazon, same thing, gapping up inside the previous day's range, so still inside previous day. Google, how are we doing for time? 5 minutes. Gapping down here on the Goog. But again, inside old range. There's your support. This is just seeing, can it hold any of this before going up right now? Meta, slight gap up. $2 gap up, but again, inside the old range. There's the old range. Right, so lots of these are still stuck. Most of these are stuck right now. Nvidia, the big change. All right, Nvidia monster gap up off that chip order news in China. Boom. All right. So the question for an Nvidia is, if Nvidia gap fills, all right, then we might see the same thing in the market. If it does a gap and go, if it's a pullback and it holds for more exuberance higher, then obviously the market might well follow. This is getting fairly steep, I would say, on Nvidia. We were in a nice channel, and this is way above the channel. All right, so just be aware of that. Obviously, this is all-time high on Nvidia, just absolutely ripping faces right now. All right, it is ripping faces. You can see 4-hour flow zones constantly holding. Every deep pullback doesn't even make the deep pullback flow zones ever since that April pivot. All right, very, very, very strong there. Do not fight the tape. And Tesla, just inside. Basically opening by yesterday's close. All right, trapped inside. These are its pivots. So I'd say other than Nvidia, market fairly neutral, like bullish to neutral, but nothing Nothing to write home about right now. Let's put it that way. Nothing to write home about. It's just holding its gains very well. So yeah, definitely one eye on Nvidia today. A bit like we were watching Tesla yesterday. You definitely need one eye on Nvidia today. All right, but you can see while I was talking, we held that key level. All right, here's where you're pinned in. No acceptance under here right now. Trading back upside. This is a new range at the moment at the highs. You will need to be patient in this range. Building out liquidity. Why is it put? Man, this is trading view's been on one. I don't know if there was an update last week or something, but what are these purple lines which have never existed on my chart before? You're not even going to let me grab it now. This is ridiculous. They're not even on my chart. This is hilarious. Let's do a... Let's just save it and then reload maybe. Obviously got confused here. There we go. All right. So you're at 90 seconds to open here, folks. Just do a little measurement since last night into this open, just so we can see what's what. Yeah, we're just trading around POC. Say that edge there starts to get thin under 83s. All right, nice and patient, please. There is news coming today as well. All right, if you didn't know, I'm pretty sure it's Jolts. Let me just double check. 10 o'clock, yeah, Jolts. All right, so that will be a mover. Jolts at 10. We'll be waiting for that. That will be a mover. We're seeing some gaps in the chart. This looks like TradingView's having issues this morning to me, because I'm not having that on Ninja. So just be aware. Just be aware. All right, here we go, team. Here's the open. Nice exuberant push up there at the start of the day. Tesla opening down, everything else opening up. Nvidia 0.78% up, Meta 0.70% up, Google 1/3% up, Amazon 2/3%, now 3/4% and flying. Microsoft 0.68% up, Apple just the dead one, just not moving. All right, so there's your all-time high clear out. Obviously, ES lagging very far behind right now. Okay, Q's ripping faces right now. Wow, let's get this marked out. Playing catch up here. 1 second. Sorry, my other charts weren't catching up. Oh, fantastic. It's forgotten all this again. Man, whoever's coded to TradingView's update needs firing. Looking at the tape, you can see we're exuberant here. Up to 25, let's see what's above. There's a little bit at 50, not much. All right, just be very careful today. Trading at all-time highs at that top Bollinger Band with a FOMC and MAG earnings just around the corner. All right. Would not be surprised to see like pushes violently sold into at some point for profit taking. So just you want to be careful. SPY getting stuck there at 40s. Yes, sorry, getting stuck at 40s. So Nvidia selling off at the open, trying to fill its gap already, folks. So these are the old all-time highs. Do we sell this at this point? And zooming in. Let me get these charts fixed on Ninja. Sorry, team. Running a bit late here. Didn't even get to do the good mornings, did we? I'm sorry. Very, very sorry. Thank you all for joining. All right, ES back to VWAP. Nvidia continuing to sell off here into its gap. Previous day high on Nvidia will be 77 flat. Previous day close would be 76. It hit highs this morning of 79.65, currently trading at 77.82. So a big sell-off this morning on Nvidia. You want to be careful if this is a blow-off top in this market if Nvidia really rolls hard. I don't think that's the case right now, but you just want to be careful. Manage your position sizing. Like I said to the team in Discord, you want to be careful at all-time highs, making sure you are in a see money, take money kind of environment, and then hold the runners. Your TV's fine. All of you are saying it's all right. You're having the same issue. Gap is from settlement. Yeah, gap's always from settlement, Andrew. I always do it from settlement. Yeah, I see that, Tom. Yeah. Testing weekly POCs. We're a long way from that in NQ. Relative strength, all the weeklies are way, way down. There's your weekly high, and there's a weekly POC way, way down on 400. We're just an exuberant market right now. All right, holding flow zones, every dip being absorbed right now. I wouldn't even call that structure worth noting at this point because we're clearly just trading through it over and over. All right, through that top Bollinger at the moment. Get the stream up so I can see you all without looking at that other screen. There we go. All right, SPY finding a bid at previous day high right now. Nvidia trying to find a bid here as well, folks. Meta has started selling off. Tesla starting selling off. The rest of the market, we are in a squeeze. This is an absolute squeeze out. You want to be very careful here. Do not be guessing tops, please. We're very extended already from the flow zones and from VWAP this morning. This is shorts getting absolutely cooked, guessing the top. All those shorts who were guessing the top on swing positions, all the shorts guessing the top yesterday, all the shorts trying to force the breakdown yesterday. They have caused this move higher, and they will continue to cause this move higher all the time. They keep guessing. Like I said in the newsletter, it will be very obvious when this market is ready to dump and pull back, because it will start doing it and producing lower highs and lower lows underneath key daily and weekly levels. Until that point, you better be careful. All right, you better be careful. All-time highs, we tend to just grind higher and then have blowout moves like this because shorts get caught, and then we do the same again. We pull back, we pause, we build consolidation, we grind and grind and grind, and then we blow out again. So market now all green other than Tesla. Meta catching a bid there. Plenty of time left here. Remember, we got news in 25 minutes. 650 would be the obvious first target here, I'd say. Let's have a little look at the book on ES. Oh my gosh, that is disgusting. That is horrible. All right, so ES doesn't know what it's doing. That is one of the worst book maps I've ever looked at, flicking over to that. All right, here we go. 640. They probably want 650. Is there any above that? Just the whole. You're playing psychological numbers and fib extensions at this point. Nothing above that really at this point. So watching if they fill these guys into 650. Nvidia catching a bid now, all the way up to its VWAP. What an exuberant market. Insane. Like I said, I will not be buying the top Bollinger Band on a daily. No way. No way I'm doing that. You're asking for trouble. $658 is 2 IBs. IBs from what? From yesterday? Measured move from yesterday, maybe? Is that what you mean? Monday, gotcha. Johannes starting with a W, nice. I'm assuming you were long on this hold of flow zones, very nice. We are in a buy, you can see we're in a buy, multi-time frame bullish right now. They're adding liquidity higher. Nvidia now through its VWAP, approaching pre-market highs. Apple just stuck. That thing is garbage at the moment. I really am interested in buying that. I think it's got so much room, but I have to wait till earnings are out of the way at this point. AMD on a flyer again. 2.5% up. What a beauty. What a beauty. I think that is going to absolutely outperform on earnings. Don't think people are ready. I think that is going to have a monster earnings and really good guidance. Here we go. So you've got some absorption on the tape here. Short sellers coming in there. 118 lot, 63 lot into those 50s. They're trying to hold 50s, and at the moment doesn't look like it's going to hold, to tell you that much. Looks like we're going to go and wreck those guys getting tops right now. But some profit taking here into 650 like we talked about. Nothing to trade here for me. We're trading pretty much straight up other than this dip, which held. We're 50 points above that now. So we talked about it yesterday when we have those consolidation sessions. You can see higher time frame right now. We are just inverse head and shoulder with expansion higher. At some point, we will have a bit of a cool down. High time frame here. You can see filling this cup or inverse head and shoulder. There's your flag. There's your hold at 9 a.m. and here's your rip higher at this point. So 60s being added now, 63s and 58s and 60s, nothing above that. All right, so that's where they're looking, seeing if they can drag it up. ES trying to get going here, still not through its pre-market highs at this point. Nvidia trying to hold its into its overnight level of consolidation, let's call it, at the moment. VIX trading back down towards low of day. It got stuck at that supply level in front of 15 that we went over. And it looks like it might be about to break down here. It's trading at low of day. Let's see. Nvidia still holding VWAP. Liquidity still being added higher here. Remember, you're multi-time frame bullish. Tesla in a sell. Rest of the market looking pretty good. Meta, Amazon, and Apple have all got the chance to go green to red today if they don't hold their gap fills, which they've all just done. All right, so there you go. Amazon's starting to go under its gap. Just be careful. Like I said, it would not surprise me to see the odd rug pull today. It really wouldn't. In an exuberant market, it wouldn't take much. I don't mean like really strong selling. I just mean some major profit taking before we get into earnings and FOMC. You know, if you're up really big, you got to think where we were trading at yesterday. Anyone that was buying that failed auction at the lows, like buying 450s, 460s, we're now trading up 200 points higher for them to do very little work. They're trying to hold 30s here. 50s got stuck, didn't it? And this is what we were just talking about. So pulling back towards the flow zones now. Nvidia pulling back to its VWAP. ES failing, has not taken out that liquidity high at 440 we were talking about. Got close, but didn't get there. So I want to see, do they hold POC and VWAP? If they fail that, then we probably start rotating lower. So you want to see if dips hold here. There is liquidity on the book, 630, 627, 625, 620. Being patient here. Nvidia failing here through VWAP. ES coming back down to its VWAP. SPY doing the same. VIX trading at lows of day. This is a big level here. All right, if it cannot hold here and around here, it wouldn't take much, right, to drift into 13s and then all the way down. So it needs to hold here or hereabouts. Apple going red, Amazon going red, Meta going red. I just talked about that. It's starting to happen. All right, they've closed their gaps. They're not finding bids there yet. They might go, you know, a little bit under and find a bid. We don't know, but something to be aware of. Other than Nvidia, market's in balance. Here's the sell on the spiders, all the way back down to previous day high here. So very weak on ES compared to the Qs. Very, very weak by comparison. Continued selling here. Nvidia still holding up well. Rest of the market starting to bleed here. And Nvidia trying to hold. There you go. It's starting to see a sell here. So if they don't protect this edge, it would not surprise me to start rolling over with excess highs. We have to wait and see at this point. Nvidia still holding very, very well. So that 50s was the level. New lower day on ES and SPY. Back to its RBS level, but it's starting to attack that liquidity lower. Nvidia still above its VWAP, still holding on really strong. You can see this is like a little volume node here. Where have you gone? Here you are. Watching Nvidia closely here as it trades into its VWAP. Here's the old all-time high, 610s. All right, this is old all-time high. If we zoomed right out, 610s, which we're protecting right now. And Nvidia holding VWAP. So this is the deep pullback. The question is, do they buy this and rotate all the way up, or do they fail? Do we start producing a lower high in here or just above for a deeper move if they're going to sell deeper today? That's the question at this point. Nvidia is still basing above its VWAP. Rest of the market in sort of balance, but lots of it very close to going, well, some of it's going red. Apple's gone red. Amazon's break even on the day. Meta break even on the day. Google 0.16% up. The strength is coming from Microsoft and Nvidia today, not from elsewhere yet. So either a lower high produced here, lower time frame, or we're going right back to highs as ES has swept. So you've got divergence on the tape. Watching SPY and ES trade into their VWAP, see if they get stuck. Nvidia under VWAP now. Starting to fail into this level. It's becoming a key level here this morning already. Very, very tight. Stuck between old all-time highs. I should probably put that on to help you. 610s, I think it was. On a 30-minute. Where are you? Here. Thank you. All right, that's just an old 30-minute high. All right, it's basically the pre-market high. Raphael took it from 640 to 20 points. Yeah, 20 points is good. Like I said, see money, take money. If you're taking the reversals, you've definitely got to be more aggressive in managing your profit and your stops. Still basing up here right now. Nvidia still holding right now. Relative strength. NQ is going to be much harder to short today than the ES if there's a short. Remember, higher time frame is saying to move higher. It's very bullish higher time frame, but we're at the daily Bollinger highs. This is why we don't long up here when we get into the daily Bollinger highs, because this is what happens. Daily traders start taking profits. Video looks like it's getting ready for a bull flag breakout here. Might drag the market back up. You're watching basically 79.66, and then you're watching Nvidia to move to 180 and above psychological levels. Old all-time highs here again. Still no trade here for me yet. Just patiently waiting. And if we really want to fail, we can come and back test some of these levels. It's just not building liquidity in a nice manner right now. It's being annoying. Just straight up, straight down. Was looking for a bear flag to build out here, not just one candle. But hey, that's been the story of NQ for the last week, isn't it? Straight move at the open, straight back down, or straight the reversal 10-15 minutes after without much structure. And it's been the story of the tape, definitely. Fresh lows here on ES. We're trading back down to Globex right now. Orange line and New York open with 24-hour view up. Remember, news coming in 10 minutes here, folks, as well. Man, this is annoying. VIX finding a bid. All I wanted was a bit more liquidity built out here before dropping. That's all I was looking for. Here's VWAP, New York open. We are slicing through, getting very heavy here. Nvidia with a sell. Be careful. If Nvidia lets go, these are major levels. If Nvidia starts letting go, these are major levels. ES really starting to puke here. This is frustrating. Called it in Discord, didn't we? Wouldn't be surprised to see some rug pulling because of some profit taking. This is just into RBS level right now. Nvidia still holding. So, man, it's not going to give any entry here. We're going to let this market do what it wants. It's not giving entries. It's been horrible. Keep trying to get limits in, and it's just very aggressive. Trying to get a sell in there for a pop back up, but no good. Ay, you bugger. Remember, we can afford to come deeper. Previous day New York high, previous day value area high, previous day point of control, previous day and previous week value areas down here. Can afford to come much deeper. You cannot chase the short here, folks, because if Nvidia finds a bid and drags this market up, you will get stuck in like a 40-50 point whip. All right. ES has just traded to its higher time frame algo. You want to see this build liquidity. You don't want to see this just do what it's doing. It needs to build out some structure here for you to get short against, because we're at all-time highs. You do not want to get caught. I will repeat, the way we've moved higher for months and months now has been from shorts chasing lows. This is some profit taking being seen in the market, and Nvidia is still holding on. This is why you do not chase the lows. So all of the mag now red other than Microsoft and Nvidia. Do we get stuck in this level now where we just broke down from? We can probably repaint this to make it a bit cleaner. And if we start reclaiming, we know what we're going to do. It'll be the same trap as it's been all week. So you'd be watching rejection of basically 600 here. Reclaim of 600, we're going right back to highs. This has been the story for months and months and months now. Shorts chasing under here. If this is the day where they're going to start to sell, they will need to reject these levels that we're going into. Otherwise, it's going to be the same story. Straight up, straight down, shorts chase, and we use their liquidity to go higher. Right, so just be cautious. This is why I'm backing off, because I don't want to chase the lows. And ES came right into a high time frame demand level there. Came in price right back to yesterday's level. ES basically did the move back to here. It's already done that move. Liquidity on the book, 590 and 600. Yeah, like we talked about. So do we go for a leg up into that and then get a failure? Oh, I would have loved that short up here when I was looking for it. It's annoying. Annoying. Yeah, quite right, Coop. News in 8 minutes. News in 8 minutes. We've now built liquidity well in this session. We've got trapped participants, trapped buyers up here. And if we reclaim, potentially trapped sellers down here. Nvidia still showing strength here, still holding on, still above VWAP, still trying to flag to get back above pre-market highs. Rest of the market does not look so good right now. Yeah, H1 candle is gross, you're right. H1 and 30-minute candle here does not look very nice. So if they reject this area, there might be a new low. So you want to see a two-leg, 1, 2. If they reject it, maybe they come for lower. If they start reclaiming it, then we know shorts have just got trapped down here again, just like yesterday. It would be the same kind of move, except it would just be in an intraday chart, not versus previous day levels. ES, on the other hand, will be versus previous levels. Gross. We said the volatility would start increasing after Monday. It's going to start ramping up all the way into Friday. Friday as well, other than just tariffs. I think we've got non-farm as well, just to make it extra exciting. All right, here's the level. Banging into it towards those 600s. News in 4.5 minutes here. Oh, it's going to make it impossible to take it, aren't they, with the news? Oh my God, they're playing some good games. Exactly what I talked about pre-market, especially in Discord. Oh, you absolute arses. You absolute arses. All right, rejecting that level. I want a second leg higher into that level here. And now we've really got to wait for news. I don't want to trade into news. Yeah, you want VIX to sort of reclaim 15s ideally. Ideally. If you're looking for the short. It can just chop sideways and the market can grind back up if it chops sideways because we are so low. Because VIX is already under 15s. Nvidia looking a little bit dangerous here, just holding above its VWAP. Rest of the market bleeding out. Jolts in 3 minutes. Got to wait for that. If we start making new lows, I can't do anything. I'm not going to go against my rules and trade into this news. I'm disappointed because I was ready for this action. All I was looking, if we had this kind of build of liquidity that we're seeing here, if we had this kind of build here, all right, it would have been really nice to take that breakdown, but we didn't. It just went. And the one thing I'm watching, just so that you can see it, is this on a side monitor. It's holding very, very, very well right now. It's holding structure. If we think about the structure, there was your R level. It bid off. It's holding. If it wants to do this to come and take out pre-market, it absolutely can, and that will drag NQ up with it. Remember, we're gapping up purely because of this one stock today. So I'm just a little bit aware of how that's operating. All right, news coming soon, folks. Here's the move back to 600s. You'd have to say this is the key level. All right, if we start reclaiming this level, it's going to be a problem for shorts. If they got caught down here again, it's going to be a problem for them again. This H1 bar does look horrific. It looks really bad. It looks even worse on a 30-minute right now. Complete indecision. All right, 45 seconds till news. Nvidia starting to break out here. New high of day. In the New York session, it's looking to take out pre-market highs of 79.64 for a break. Google just gone red to green. Yeah, last day for 90% off for Apex. You're right. Last day. Oh. Ends at midnight tonight, Eastern time. You can use code FLOWZONE. Oh, sorry, code FZT. Get you 90% off. All right, here's the news, folks. Here's the news. The book's getting wonky. You can see it on the book map. Getting wonky. All this action starting to take place. Nvidia's trying to break out towards those pre-market highs at the moment. Markets testing value area low, current value area low, building on the session. Remember, this isn't set from a previous day. This is just current. Potential bear flag here, but it's very hard to think about that when Nvidia is looking to rip faces. Seller trying to absorb the take there, 100 lot. Still liquidity higher, 95, 600, 610, still on the book higher. Check ES again. ES completely cleared. Look at the difference on ES. That the liquidity's just gone. They all cleared out for the news and no one's come back yet. See if the algos are back. No algos are back yet either. Right. Everyone is waiting, including the algorithms. No one is sure right now what's going on. I can tell you that much. Here's Nvidia back towards VWAP again. Still looks bullish to me, Nvidia right now. Whereas Qs look like they want to break down versus value area low on the session, but it still looks bullish Nvidia. It's why it's got me a little bit spooked right now, because if it absorbs here and traps and it makes a new high on Nvidia, then this market will run with it. Well, at least the Qs will. I think it's 130 or 140 at the moment, Nate. I can't remember. Someone correct me. I think it's 130 or 140. Right, Nvidia back to its VWAP here. Just be careful. This is key for Nvidia, like over under. If they find a bid here and we trade back upside, we are likely to see a squeeze in the Qs. If they can't find a bid here on Nvidia and it goes in a sell, then maybe we get that next leg down. Watching these levels, we keep rejecting value area low, but we're starting to build out more volume here, which means value area is going to start moving soon because we're spending a lot of time here. So remember, this is just changing all the time because it's in the New York session. This is only your only the first 30 minutes of the session so far. Here's VWAP on Nvidia. Waiting to see if some liquidity comes back on this book. Feels like they want to tug it lower. ES now holding strength, which is crazy. There's the Nvidia starting to sell through VWAP. This is mental, the divergence between the two. ES now looking like the stronger of the two, absorbing very, very well. Obviously, that first move down on ES was far more aggressive than the Qs. Watching to see if we break the lows here or if we're just going to absorb again. Absorb again we go. This is hilarious. Nvidia right on VWAP. Decision point time on Nvidia. Qs, are they going to break or are we going to swipe right back up? Rest of the market weak. SPY starting to come down. Bids here at 55 and 50s. Not much above right now to swipe up for. It's all on Nvidia. That's the game right now. Breaker structure coming. Nope. Faked you. Nvidia still holding VWAP. Oh, they're going to make this impossible to trade. I can already feel it. Can already feel it. They're going to make this impossible to trade today. And Nvidia holding VWAP. This market wants to move lower. It just can't move in unison. If they get a unison move, we're going to break. But as in, if Nvidia starts letting go, SPY starts letting go, market wants to roll, we'll get a breakdown to some of these bigger levels down here. But right now, it's just absorbing. Remember, the only reason I'm looking at Nvidia is because it's the only reason the Qs have gapped up. The rest of the market is heavy. Nvidia just not budging off that VWAP. The longer we're there, probably the more shorts keep attempting to force it lower, and the less likely it's to do it. And here's Nvidia having another go. Starting to break now, Nvidia. Are we going to start to see some follow through here in this market? Come on. Come on, Nvidia. Go for that liquidity. Watching Nvidia into 78.44s and then to see if it really wants to break down. This is where it's found bids from all morning. If they start letting go of this as a deeper move in this market. Come on, market. Come on, market. Let's go for those daily levels. Come on, here we go. Here we go. Break of structure. Come on. Get some expansion here. Beautiful. More expansion, please. More expansion, please. Don't hold the 50s. More expansion, please. Holding 50s. 50s on the tape, so trying to observe that. was hoping we'd just drop right down into this previous New York level. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Nvidia at that key level, though. This is where it's been absorbing all morning. We just talked about it. All morning, Nvidia's been absorbing here. And again, trying to find a bid. 78.40s key on Nvidia. 178.40s key on Nvidia. If we start seeing more profit taking, we will drive back down into these daily levels on the NQ. ES looking good. Rest of the market looking good. Google finding a bid at the moment. And Nvidia absorbing that level. So no follow through in this market because Nvidia, the biggest company in the world, which is weighted the biggest in NQ, is holding this whole market up while the others have been bleeding a bit this morning. So it's just tricky. It's like yesterday. Tesla held the market up yesterday. Now today, because it was up massive, today Nvidia is holding this market up, and now it's reclaimed VWAP. So no follow through here, and again, you might get short stuck at these lows again if we start recovering the levels. So it's literally the same story over and over again. It's getting frustrating to trade this market for me the last few weeks, especially because we grind to all-time highs, we give no entry for the short, and then NQ on days like this is not coming and testing daily levels, which means I'm not comfortable getting long underneath here. It's very, very risky, and getting short with any size and holding for any sustained move becomes very hard. I'd love to hold for a sustained move lower to daily levels, but you know, ES has already done that move. Maybe it's coming. I don't know. And Nvidia back to VWAP. And show you what I'm talking about. You can see the divergence. Nvidia failing to break down under here, back to VWAP so far. ES had a giant puke out earlier. All right, much, much bigger into higher time frame algo, and is starting to recover. This is just everything not to trade right now. And this is making me think, don't even bother. I've had one attempt, took not even a half hour down on it, trying to force the breakdown here, and probably a bit late from me. I'm just thinking, just wait till FMC and earnings are out of the way because they're just playing games at the moment. We'll see. Flow zone's holding here. There is liquidity at 50s. I think we should at least gun for those 50s, but it really depends if Nvidia is willing to wash. VIX looks good. Everything looks good other than Nvidia. So you're basically trading against the strongest stock in the world right now. That's the problem with NQ. You're trading against the #1 biggest stock in the world, which is unwilling to break down. Relative strength in the market because of it. Here you go. So liquidity here, 80s, 90s, 95s, and then downside 550s, still absorbing. There's not even a level really there. We didn't even sweep the the London low, and we didn't test the Asia high. So I was looking for a move into 40s and then 20s, and then see if it wanted to stop here and get long, but it's not even got that move in it right now. And here's the pump straight back up. Guess why we're doing that? Oh my god, how can you trade this? How can you trade this divergence? You're a better than trader than me if you're able to trade this divergence right now. Mixed bag on a mag. All right, Tesla 1.72% down, Nvidia 1.16% up, Meta 1/3% down, Google 1/4% up, Amazon 0.5% down, Microsoft 1/3% up, Apple just under 0.5% down. It's a complete mixed bag. Nothing moving like together. and retesting value area low on the session here. So a reclaim of this, and we probably trade back up to VWAP and POCs at this point. A rejection of this, where they will attempt to trade lower, but it's gross action. Like I said, I've had one attempt at it, and I've given basically half an hour, 130 down on each account. No big deal. But now I'm backing off because I don't like what I'm seeing. And I'm just wondering, have shorts just got stuck again? It's possible. It is possible. All-time highs. It's very, very possible those shorts just got cooked again down there. What's making it hard is that NQ is not trading down to daily levels. So I don't want to bid up here. I want to bid off bigger support structure down here. I don't want to bid off light, thin volume overnight. But that's the only thing it's offering right now, and I'm not going to do that. So this means I'm going to have to wait. Yeah, holding London low, you're right. It did hold London low. That's why I was looking for us to break down under. But we didn't. So you can see on the book here, 590s, 600s. You can see sellers here, and now the buyers underneath have gone. Yeah, so we're one-sided. They're looking to just fill these. It's that or 500 now. So it's a 100-point range now at this point. And we're just building. We're just going sideways with no edge in this market. Nvidia's starting to break down now. It's coming for those 40s again. If it lets go, here it goes. 40s again. While ES is trading upside. This is amazing. Don't trade before FOMC. Why are you doing it? This is the bollocks that happens, Alex. Why bother? Oh, I won't be on tomorrow morning, that's for sure. I'm not trading tomorrow morning, folks. Probably won't trade tomorrow at all, to be honest. I don't trade FOMC. I will be trading Thursday and Friday, but I won't be trading tomorrow morning. Too dangerous right now with what's going on. Right, Nvidia breaking down. Oh, are we going to do it, market? Oh, are you going to come for lows now, market? Nope. Oh, so I can show you my book. There you go. Red on the day, just to show you. Yeah, I took an L as well. It's probably my fault. I think my entry was a little bit late here on the breakdown. Should have played against value area. But again, they did that move into the news, which meant I couldn't take it, which gave me a worse entry. And that's a bit stupid of me taking that. And then I didn't take any profits towards the low. It's my own fault. Probably just not executing as well as normal. That's okay. Can't be perfect. Can't be perfect. It was right here. I was trading this breakdown. Here, looking for this move here, and I didn't take any profit or partials. That is my fault. Oh, if you are going to do it now, I'm going to get really pissed off. VIX starting to spike here. Yeah, it was a valid play. It's a bit late. The problem is I wanted my entry up here because at the time value area low was up here. But if you look at the time here, it's into the news candle at 10 o'clock. This was a better entry, and I probably would have taken a partial there because it would have made sense. I don't think I can trade this at this point. This is starting to become untradeable looking at the chart. It's starting to look very, very gross. And I never like a market when it's hinging on one stock. Never good. Think about the gap up. The gap up only happened on NQ. The only stock gapping up really was Nvidia. The rest, like we talked about, were pretty much inside. And when I say gapping up, I'm not just talking about above PDC. I'm talking about above PDH. Was the only one gapping up above PDH. Man, why do I feel like you're about to do this move now? You're gonna do it, aren't you? You absolute dirty buggers. Oh. All right, watching this. Oh. VIX about to break high of day. 1490s and then 15s, basically a key level on VIX. It's coming. Yeah, I think we can trade into 20s if they let go, but I don't know if I've got any bullets left in me mentally. Nice, Nate. Yep, 10 points will do in this market, especially if you're short side. I should have locked in 10 points, that's for sure. Not practicing what I preached today, that's probably half the trouble. That's probably half the trouble. That's all right. And we're starting to build so much volume down here. Look, we've just flipped POC on the day down here now. So if we start to bid above 72s now, all right, then a trade upside is going to be easier and easier for this market because you've got to think how many people are in here. Now, technically, if we stay heavy, you could argue that this is a B shape developing on the day. Technically, if we stay heavy versus this, you could argue that we might want to break down into these levels. And it's from these levels that I actually want to be long. It's somewhere around here. It is not here, which is why I'm not looking at the long right now. We're not into value for me to be thinking about a long right now. It's why I've been thinking, hey, I'd much rather look for it either to short down. Now I'm saying probably run out of bullets, and now I might just wait for it to do that move. Yeah, basically these potentially, it depends like how we get there, but effectively if we come down into any of these levels down here and we start to see something like this, yeah, it could be much smaller or a double bottom. It's gonna fucking do it. So Alex was right, his timing was just off. On the tape here, look, you can see them stacking up 55, 50s, 45, 40s. I think there is still a buyer underneath at 20s. Yeah, there is. Oh yeah, 20s and 500s. It's just a battle, folks. It's a battle. I want to trade off higher time frame, bigger levels. I want to see if we can take out, London low, trade into sort of the Asia level, look at that higher time frame, sort of RBS level, look at the areas where we had, previous day highs based in New York, previous day value area high, previous day point of control, previous week value area high. Anywhere here is a bigger daily and weekly sort of support system. Up here, there is no support here off daily and weeklies. This is off very, very light volume. This is all overnight. This is why I don't really care about overnight volume. It's very thin. We go over this. Look at the difference in volume this morning to what we're trading through. I can't remember who asked me that in Discord this morning, but it's why I pay less attention to this, because it wouldn't take much if we think about this as like low resistance liquidity run for those of you who trade ICT. It wouldn't take much to get down. It won't take a lot of sell pressure to go and clean all of that out because there wasn't much buying pressure to take us up. All right, are you going to do it? Look at this absolute fannying about in this market. Terrible. This is a bit like yesterday. Like, just take control, short sellers, for 20 minutes to get down there. Just take control, but you can't. They're so scared after getting absolutely wrecked now that they're making trades unviable. And you see on the book, 50s, 45, 40s, and 20s all stacking up. We should go and fill them, but we're not. ES going upside now. This is fantastic. VIX failing 1490. Make it harder for us to trade, please, market. Like, could you make this harder this morning, I wonder? Oof. Sorry, folks. Not the easiest session here. I wanted those shorts. You would have heard me talking about it into news and also near the highs, but we didn't build liquidity. And then I probably chased a little bit, to be honest. It was a breakdown, but it's probably a bit low versus value area high. It's just my own fault. It's my own fault. And now we're stuck in a terrible range. How big is this range? 40, 50 points. 6 minutes until the initial balance, which isn't going to be too bad today. It's going to be 100 points rather than 60. Still not great, but at least there's something to work with. I'm going to get a refill of coffee here. IB's being set here in 5.5 minutes, folks. Oh, chop, 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 chop. It wants to come down to those high time frame levels, I think. I think that's what wants to happen. But at the moment, short sellers are not taking control to get it there. But I do think it wants to trade lower. And probably a lot of people wanted to be short up here where I was and it didn't build out. And maybe they chased it down. And then maybe they took the news, unlike me, covered this low, but we're starting to bottom out here. You want to see this break lower for many reasons down to here because it's going to offer better trade opportunities both sides of the tape at that point. If we're stuck in a range here, there's nothing that's going to happen. We're going to go for it now. We're going to go for it now. Here we go. You're going to go for it now, aren't you, after messing me about? You've been messing me about all day. Here's the 50s. Like we said, 50s, 45s, 40s, 30s, 25s, all on the tape right now, folks. I would like to see it fill down to 20s. That's previous day open. It's a Globex level. High time frame algos just beneath there. And then you've got PDC, previous week high, value area high from previous day POC. All of these levels down here are high time frame areas of interest. Unless we get down there, there is nothing I want to do with this. Alex, my thesis is that if we break below 23,540, it can go all the way to 23,487. What do I think about that? 540. Yeah. I'd be watching 530s as well. If you look at that high from yesterday, here we go. Here we go. Come on. Come on then. Yep. Yep. Go, 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 you horrible, horrible bugger. You just took my 1R just to do it a leg later. 1, 2 leg. This was why I was interested in it, if you're wondering. 1, 2 leg. We talked about this here. Wait for a second leg. Into this level, which at the time was a value area low. Didn't take it on news. Took the breakdown. Ate my loss here. Should have left my stop loss up there, clearly. And now we're going to go. Ah, you... This is why the market's annoying, right? Because you can be right and still wrong. You can be right and still wrong. The thesis was right. Everything was right, but the timing was off. My timing was off. It was all because it's 10 a.m. news. If that news wasn't there, I would have been hitting this short up here. And if we built liquidity up here, I would have been hitting this short up here as well. We are drifting into these levels now. So if you're in short in this, congratulations. I'm really happy for you. Mentally, I'm annoyed. So I'm not on tilt or anything, but I know there's a little trigger there, and the temptation is to just sling oversize here because I'm annoyed. So I'm just like, I'll call it for you guys and help you guys make money, but I am going to eat my half-hour loss today. And that's not half-hour daily loss. That is a half-hour one trade loss, but I'm just going to eat that for now, unless I start to like feel like there's something really interesting for me. Oh yeah, I'm not going to tilt. No, I'm just saying like I can feel that I'm annoyed that I'm annoyed with how I've traded it. Really, if I'm honest, have I traded it correctly? 1, 2, there was probably the short. There was probably the next entry, and I think I'll have to check my charts. I think I've entered a little late here on this breakdown, and then I haven't taken TP. That's not good from me. I was looking for this, and I haven't left my stop at this high, and I've eaten a loss. So I must have entered here to eat that loss, which is, so it's a late entry, it's a no TP, and it's not a good stop. That is bad trading, Alex. It just shows I'm human. I'd rather be honest with you. That it's just bad trading. It's not the worst trading. I haven't got short down here or anything like that, but it's a little late. All right, it's a little late, probably because of the news and waiting for this to break, and it's not taking my TP. So a late entry, although valid, it's late. Haven't taken TP. That's two things wrong. Haven't left my stop at the high because my entry's late, so I've eaten that loss. So it's just not, it's not great execution, and that's why I've lost today, and that's on me. And that's okay. I've just got to acknowledge it, right? You have to acknowledge it. I'm able to acknowledge it, but that's what I'm aware that I haven't traded this well, so now I'm just like backing off a little bit. Initial balance now set now. We did just sweep London low, so that you're aware. All right, so that was one of my TPs we talked about. We've just swept that London low down here. So what was the trade? All right, it was a blow off top. Take the Asia high in New York, blow off top, wait for Nvidia to start pulling back, attack down towards the London low. And if we want to drift deeper, we can. Remember, value area from yesterday. If you look at this chart down here, all right, here's your D-shaped profile from yesterday. If it wants to come all the way back down towards these, it can. If we start coming under this, I'm not interested. I'm not even interested in a short down there. This is a dangerous choppy area. I actually want to see a bullish rotation off these levels. I'll show you what I was looking for this morning. Very clear with the Discord right here. All right, so that kind of moved down into here for bullish moves. And where is it? Where do I say? It stinks of traps both sides. We do talk about it somewhere. I can't remember where. Can't remember where I talked about it, but somewhere we talked about there being some rug pulls today, highly likely. Hopefully you lot have all made money, though. That's all that really matters. Have you all made money? That's all I actually care about. Erin says $4 shy of my $100 goal. Done for the day. Yeah, just call it. Just call that $100 goal. That's it. It's done. If you're there or thereabouts, it's done. Because if you push for it without legit setup, you'll probably give some back. 565 on 545. I don't see that. You must be looking at an algo. Yeah, that's an algo. That's just a liquidity provider. You see the difference? In this chart, these are real traders on this chart here on Bookmap. And if I go over, that is a liquidity provider. All right, so that's just providing liquidity for the market. It's not necessarily legitimate. So that can move at any time if it wants. All right, so you see it's not on here at all. All right, so this is literally the liquidity provided by market makers, just to make sure that NQ can move properly. So it's not an actual buyer supporting the bid, is what I'm trying to say. Is that a good way of better way of saying it? Make more sense. All right. Still not coming to these levels fully. You are starting to build out a bit of a channel here for the session now. Let me draw it. Probably not. Knowing trading view. There we go. Sort of something like this. Volume built at the bottom now. Oh man. Another red day. Another red day for Alex at the moment. Oh, I'm only 4 days away from a payout, but I've got to start hitting some winners here. Some of these I think might be on their 5th or 6th payout as well, so I'll probably pull it all out on the next one if I wanted to. All right, starting to break this channel. You can see volume built at the lows like we just talked about. Nvidia starting to pump back up towards VWAP right now. Lots of liquidity here. 570, 575, 580s. It just looks a bit messy now to me on hourlies and 30 minutes. So I'd say this level we're trading up into is where we broke down on a 30-minute chart. So basically, yeah, 70s to 80s becomes key. That's your over-under for the day. The reason I'm saying that is it's where we broke down from. If you think about this, all right, there's your excess high. There's liquidity build. There is the breakdown. If this rejects this level, right, you can look for rotation back into the lows, partials there, and runners if it goes. If it reclaims this, then you've got a inverse head and shoulder for a drive back up. All right. So far, rejecting those 70s. We just went over. Which firm, Alex? Apex. These are on my Apex ones. So I've been pulling 5 figures out every month since April, but I think like 3 or 4 of these are on. Starting to puke here. Are on 5th or 6th. I'll have to check. Coop says, got my $100 past one account today. Several others should be in the next day or two. 12 days of following Alex's $100 per day program, paying off. Runners of course help get over $100. Yeah, that's all we got to do, man. Especially on those. I know you're doing the 25Ks, Coop. Like, I've never really looked at those before, but 1-to-1 RR, nice and cheap, means you can size down. You know, $100 a day, 15 days if you won every day, and you pass the trailing drawdown, right? That's pretty cool. You don't need to overcomplicate trading. Must not compete with other people. That's what will get you stuck. What's up, Tyson? So yeah, of my 10 accounts, eight of them were denied payout on the last payout, which I said would happen because of that day I had 2 weeks ago on that Monday morning when my copier went nuts. So I think I went into too much draw, which I thought might have happened. 2 of them got approved. The bigger accounts, 150Ks, got approved because they didn't go in as much draw. So now I just need to trade those 8 more days. I've done 3 days. This is day 4. But I need some green days here. I need some green days. Maybe after this week. I'm definitely cautious this week, knowing what's coming. Tyson, morning, buddy. Everyone's good other than me. I sort of wanted a short here. Wouldn't come for me. Waited for the 2-leg. Entered a little late because of news. Didn't take my profits. Got stopped out here. Ate the loss. So, other than that, we're good. Move this along a bit. Something like that, maybe. Exactly. You don't have to worry about the trailing drawdown on micros. It's nothing to stress over. Nothing to stress over. So I'm going to go back into this accepted range down here. Choppy range down here, folks. Nvidia just rejected VWAP. Liquidity on the book at 70s. I'll give you a readout on the market. Tesla 1.68% down. Nvidia 0.87% up. Meta 0.25% down. Google 0.13% up. Amazon 0.60% down. Microsoft 0.25% up. Apple 0.70% down. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are red. 3 of them are green. And NQ, the strongest one out there. If you look at ES, 0.09% up. RTY, 0.08% up. YM, 0.22% down. NQ, 0.32% up. I wonder why that is. Same reason we talked about all morning. Biggest stock in the world, gapped up. And so far is holding its gains. It's holding its gains. Oh, yeah. It's all right, Tyson. It's my own fault. It was just not very accurate trading. But I was honest with the team. I've shown the red of what are you going to do? It is what it is. If I don't trade accurately, that 10 a.m. candle, the 10 a.m. news stopped me entering when I probably should have entered. And that was costly for me. But, and I didn't take my profit. So I broke my own rule because in my head, I'm like, I thought we were going to bleed more 75. So I could have taken, I probably could have locked in like $400 on each account and didn't. And that's something to look at for sure. I tried to give it a bit of room to breathe. And then probably didn't give it enough room. All right, we're trading back into that 70s and 80s. Remember, we just went over this on the hourly chart, on the 30-minute chart. This is where we broke down from. Up here, look left. This is where we broke down from. It's still the same kind of level. We can put it back on if you want. This level. All right, right here. Buyers are trapped over this level right now. You can even pull it all the way up to 90s if you want. All right, so we're starting to flip the flow zones, short time frame, but 30 minutes and hourlies are showing participants still stuck above this level, as in buyers are stuck above this level right now. I've moved on, Steve. I'm just being honest because Tyson was asking. I'm not stressed about anything. I just think it's important to be honest with people on stream rather than like hide stuff, you know? That's all it is. I'm not worried. It's just important to be honest. Yeah, I don't have many, Coop, but definitely lack a bit of accuracy today. I'm just waiting here now. Still inside of initial balance, so IB rotation is possible. We have not come to those daily levels on NQ. So one thing I'm slightly concerned about. Nvidia trading up towards that view up. So we rejected this level. We just talked about 70s and 80s. If we get breakdowns, there are still daily levels to gun for. M5's looking a little gross. No imbalances left anywhere on an M5 or an M15 or an M30 or an H1. Yeesh. ES testing, it's IB low right here, folks. This is low of day, remember, in New York. ES is testing it. Strong rejection of that 70s and 80s we just talked about, isn't it? There's your IB sweep. Do they stay heavy versus this now on ES or not? Remember, gap fill is not far away, especially on the spiders. So ES would trade to 22s if it's going to go for gap fill. Liquidity here on the book. This is now a genuine liquidity player. 545. There is a 500 lot here now. And he's just moved. So we got a spoofer on the book, folks. We have got a spoofer on the book. And he's a big spoofer. 500 lot spoofer. That's not a joke. ES looks like it wants its PDC. Looks like it's going for gap fill here. If it can get a rejection underneath initial balance. So let it build out liquidity, see if it wants to do it. NQ relative strength. JT saying make a good golfer. I doubt it. I doubt it. More like Happy Gilmore. Smashing my club everywhere. Throwing Eminem into a lake. If anyone's watched the new one. So silly. I quite enjoyed it though. I'm going to use the bathroom here. Be right back. All right, still ranging here on NQ. ES breaking underneath right now. Its initial balance low. Potential bear flag on ES here for a breakdown. VIX starting to find a bid here. See if it can bid through 1490, 17. Jesus. Relative strength in the Qs remains. Remember, we're not underneath the initial balance yet. It looks like ES wants that PDC. It's what it looks like to me. What's going on here? Still not filled its gap. Just watching AMD here, Coop. What a ripper. AMD was on my watch list from last week. Hello. Beautiful. Absolute ripper into earnings. And I think earnings are going to be massive for it. Absolutely massive. Get rid of that now. All right, yes, now underneath this initial balance. So what the question is NQ going to follow? And are we going to go for some clean levels? If you're shorting here, though, you're probably a bit late in the day, but it might well go for these levels that I was talking about all day long. And it looks like it is now. Yes, very close to gap fill like we talked about. Make sure my mic's on. Yeah. You can see liquidity on the book here, 40s, 30s, 25s, 20s, and 500 evens. VIX back to that 1490 right now. If we break 1490, we're going to go 15s. If we break 15s and start to hold a bid, this market might get a bit heavier today. We're coming back into big, big levels here. ES has almost filled its gap now, like we talked about. NQ got a long way to go. NQ's got to trade a long, long way down to this yellow line. There's another 50 plus points available if it's going to do it. Previous day, New York high here. So if you're short in any of this breakdown, which I understand, it was nice while I was in the bathroom, then your TP1, TP2, TP3 runners for down here, and then you're expecting it to get bullish at some point down there. Here we go, starting to get heavy. Nvidia into low of day here, folks. So we've just swept the initial balance low, low of day, just been swept. Be careful. ES has just filled its gap. Nvidia is trading into its low of day. VIX starting to see that break through here. Man, I'm absolutely devastated I'm not in any of this. It's what I wanted to see. Here it goes. So hopefully I've guided some of you into it. Rejection of 70s and 80s. Here you come into higher time frame demand. Now, you must be covering some of your position into this, folks. Okay, you must be covering some of your position. Thanks, Aaron. So watching your partials into these areas now. You must be covering some of your position. You must be moving your stop to be proactive. Nvidia now breaking down. Nvidia is going to go for gap fill at this point. Everything I wanted to see is just a bad entry. It was a bad entry from me. What can I say? Terrible entry. This is VWAP from yesterday that we're hitting now in front of previous day open and Globex. Big level from yesterday here. Oh, how can you call the market right and be red on the day, Alex? You absolute wally. Ah! God damn it. God damn it. All right, make sure you're paying yourself, folks. Should be celebrating big winner here. VIX coming up to previous day low here. So let's see if it can trade through it in PDC. You've just traded into yesterday's New York high. You've just traded into Globex low. In fact, you've swept Globex low right here. All right, so your options now are trend day outside of initial balance to trend lower and lower and lower, or what we thought for originally. That was very likely down here we might find a bid. All right, very likely somewhere down there we might find a bid, because smart money does not want to get long at the all-time highs by the top Bollinger Band. They want to get long of previous day and previous week structure, which is why I didn't want to get long this morning, and I was waiting for this kind of move. Originally, I wanted to get short in it, but I got stopped out. Oh, a Wally, yeah, is just an idiot. But it's not as harsh. Not as harsh as an idiot. A Wally's just like you silly boy, you silly man. It's not like a big insult. It's like a friendly gesture of stupidity. Let's call it that. Okay, holding yesterday's VWAP. If anyone's got that anchor on from yesterday's New York, that's where we're trading into right now. It's right here. High time frame algo. Globex, PDC gap fill down here. Previous day high here. Big levels here, folks. Big levels. Here's the reattempt of the break lower. Remember, if we don't get breaks lower, this is where shorts get stuck, because they chase down here instead of having the moves from here for that move down. That pop up into 70s and 80s was clean. Hopefully you guys understood why I was saying that was a big level, right? This is where buyers were all day, pushed up, broke below. This was a final rejection of that level, which is saying, hey, buyers are still stuck over here, and it's their pain that we use to go lower. Yeah, knucklehead. It's kind of the same thing. Same thing. Wally, knucklehead, same kind of thing. Still liquidity on the book down into 500s here, folks. So as long as you're paying yourself on the way, you look good. We have not reclaimed the initial balance. So you are not thinking long yet. We have not put in high lows and higher highs. We've not shown any impetus yet to move higher. New low of day here on Nvidia, trading back down towards previous day high right now. PDC just beneath that. So Nvidia might catch a bid somewhere around there. So that would be daily structure. I wouldn't call myself that, Aaron. That's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. All right, here goes Nvidia to previous day high. Just trying to get that breakdown to there. VIX now trading at 15s. We just talked about it. VIX trading at 15s. So you'd be looking for IB to reject here if we're going to trade lower on the session. Next levels will be value, previous day value area high, previous day point of control, previous day close, previous week value area high, previous day value area low, right? So there is room if it builds out more liquidity and wants to stay heavy. You're probably going to need Nvidia to drop beneath PDC for it to really do that. Here comes the retest of the initial balance. So remember, reclaim IB. If we spend time inside of the IB, if ES reclaims PDC, then it's possible we trade all the way up to VWAP. All right. Where is my VWAP on Ninja? It's gone, hasn't it? There you are. Nvidia not quite hit PDH, finding a bit in front of it at the moment. VIX not getting through PDL. What's the time here? New hourly bar coming here, folks. Just be aware, hourly bar coming in 30 seconds. We can afford to reprice on the hourly bar to 55s, technically. Hourly bar coming. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's your hourly bar. What are they going to do? Are they going to go up to 55s before they drop it? So do they trade up to 55s? If they do, they're going to be back inside the initial balance and they're going to come up towards that deep pullback flow zone. Yes, now to PDC. Nvidia back to IB. Liquidity on the book here at 45s, and then through that very thin up to 70s. Remember, higher time frame is bullish. Unless we're going to start flipping hourlies, higher time frame is bullish. And it will remain that way until we prove otherwise. So dailies, etc., are all bullish. And these are pools of liquidity down here where we expect buyers to try and step in. This so far, I mean, I wouldn't call it a failed auction yet. It all depends how much time we spend upside, but it is starting to reclaim IB. You cannot deny that. ES has got a little way to go. VIX got absolutely slapped off that 15. Oh, thank you, Ken. Yeah, I've got to take her out in a bit because my wife couldn't take her this morning. And I've got an interview for a podcast straight after this stream. Have a look from that low of yesterday to today's high. Have we done a 50% pullback? Yeah, we just hit 61 on the fib. Right here. I went from this low to the high, pulled back into 61 so far. They will need to absorb around here if they're going to hold. How do I have the patience not to overtrade and get every trade you think is good? It's probably just experience in the market, knowing when I'm trading well and when I'm not, and sticking to my setups. Like right now, if we're buying, if we're selling in discount, which is not ideal. Up here was a good sell where I was originally looking to sell. At this point, you're really playing momentum for follow through. You can't be buying this right now, but it's not an ideal area to sell. So it's just like understanding that like price has to come to get to me. And you can see what happened this morning. Like I knew where I wanted to sell. The news candle was the problem at 10 o'clock, so I didn't take it. And then I had a little bit of a chase. It was still in premium, but I chased the sell a little bit, like rather than having it at the exact level I wanted. And because of that, I lost money. So I think that's probably how, just knowing that you have to let price come to you. What I always talk about, location and momentum. Location right now is not great for selling. It's not bad if we stay heavy here, but we know that this pull down here, anywhere in here, we might find some bids. And momentum is not good for buying, right? So you've got neither, you haven't got both. You need both, right? Up here, momentum was good for a sell. Location was good for a sell with clear targets. That's how I like to sort of organize it in my head. So here's another attempt for a breakdown here. There is liquidity at 23.05 and 23.500 here. That's where they're trying to get to at the moment. This is Globex here. We have just rejected initial balance, and Nvidia is about to bang on to its previous day high. It's almost there. All right, so I would expect Nvidia to probably find a bid here in a minute, unless they really just want to slice through it. So previous day high on Nvidia is 77's previous day close is 76.75. That would be a full gap fill on Nvidia, which means everyone pre-market is trapped. Here's previous day high on Nvidia. Just tapped it. It just tapped it, folks. Big sell. Oh, they're going to puke this now to the next level. Nvidia going for gap fill now by the looks of it. So your IB held up well. So previous day, I've got to move these. How do I? Why are all these on? So messy. Can't even see it. Yeah, previous day value area high is here right now. So these are starting to become better and better areas for the market to potentially find bids. So if you got short there or added into your position, you must be taking partials. You must be taking partials. Because these are the areas that we talked about this morning. If we think about what we went over this morning, these are the areas where we might want to find buyers, somewhere in these areas here, all right? Rebalancing. We had that trend line, easy, low-hanging fruit to trade down into these areas. It's so easy that I fluffed it. Oh, thanks, Coop. Yeah, I might go over that with you. I don't understand. Like, it keeps, like, my VWAP's changed. I think some other people said they had that as well. My anchor VWAP keeps changing it. I've saved it default like 5 times now. It keeps changing it. All right, look at the book map. You can see the liquidity. 505, 500, 95, 90s, 80s. So far, technically speaking, we're in a trend day. We're outside of initial balance, but we are coming into key levels. These are not areas you want to be a new money short. Here was a good new money short. Here was a potential trend day expansion short into these areas. TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, TP5, TP6, previous day low. Nvidia just closed its gap. All right, gap fill filled on Nvidia, completed its gap fill. Oh, I am kicking myself here. Although, how much would I actually be up if I had my stop in the right place? Entry 76 is 60 points. Not bad. Not bad. Oh. Look at that daily. That's why you don't long above the daily Bollinger. It's like my 101 rule for all-time highs. You do not long up above the daily Bollinger, because if they didn't work it out yesterday, then they probably should have worked it out today, right? All these guys are cooked. If we start breaking down under here, we get mean reversion 20-day and then lower bolt, which is going to be in a juicy area. I'm not talking about that today. I'm talking about a number of days. But we think about this, how we built it. This is highly probable. And when we talk about a fractal market, what have we seen today? That is no difference to the daily, right? This move here is not any different to the daily chart. Blow off top, trapped above the highs, lower high, and take them all out. It's the same principles, same market principles. Doesn't matter what you're trading, your principles stay the same. We're trading right to the bottom of this sort of channel at the moment, folks. Do not be a new money short down here. I cannot say it loud enough. It is how you will get trapped. Do not do it. Even if it ends up working for you, it's a terrible, terrible trade. Yeah, totally. It is next trade, but for me, the opportunity's gone. So I have to wait now. Unfortunately, I was in the bathroom on this move here. It's just one of those. T-Board took the short from the IB retest to yesterday's value area high. Thanks, Alex, for your teaching. Nice work, T-Board. Nice work. Exactly, trend tree. Looks just like the daily chart, doesn't it? Just fractal. So daily chart might be due one of those. And anyone that's read the newsletter will know that seasonality, we normally do a 11% plus pullback over the next 6 to 8 weeks. So nice, T-Bird. This is your first week trading, whatever. That's amazing. If you're learning things like IB to value area high already, you're doing fantastic. Yeah, JD. It's sod's law, isn't it, man? Can you show an example of using the 5-min to slow things down? The 5-min is exactly the same. Nothing's changed. Like the principles are the same. Your over-under levels are the same. Who gets stuck in the market more than anyone else? Breakout traders. There's your breakout buy. Like I said, in this move up, was I attempting to buy it? No. Was I going to guess the top? No. Did we wait? Yes. There's your breakdown. There's a retest of where all the buyers came in. We trade lower. We retest it again. We trade lower. We trade into what? Daily and weekly levels. These are levels where higher time frame bulls can easily absorb it to go higher. So we don't trade new shorts down here, right? So now we wait for shifts to be long or pushes into key levels to fail to trade back down. Nothing changes. It doesn't matter what time frame you're looking at. It is the same principle. Right now, there is no long trigger. We're below the flow zones. Momentum is going downside, but we're coming into key levels. So location's getting better and better. All the time we're drifting lower, but momentum is not there right now. Need a laptop in the bathroom, yeah. I mean, full-time trading, been following you for a good 10 months. Ah, got you. Sorry, misunderstood. So we've dunked under. That green line is your higher time frame algo. So we've traded from, we talked about this yesterday in Discord. Here's your lower time frame algo. Here's your higher time frame algo. Between this is what? Right here, liquidity build. All right. Once these get alignment, we can go into a higher time frame type of sell. And that might take days and days right now. It might never happen. It might never happen. Okay, breaking lower here. Nvidia rejecting its initial balance. Going to go and test its previous day close again. VIX is breaking out over 15. It's at PDC now. So if we get a break here on VIX to the upside, we might get further damage to this market. VIX can afford, I'd say the next pivot is 1520, and then you're looking really at 1540s, 1550s. So you can't bid against this, even though it's coming into areas of interest. Momentum is heavy. We are in a trend day from all technical points of view. We're underneath flow zones. We are in an initial balance expansion right now, and we're trading down into key levels. This is your first key level. These are the second key levels. These are the third key levels, and that is previous day low. All right, so I expect bulls, if they're going to show up in this area. The question is if they show up. If they show up and we start making higher highs, higher lows, we can think about the trade back upside again. But if they don't show up, then we won't be thinking about it. It's hard for me to take here. This keeps going lower when I want it to be short. In fact, I was short. You idiot, Alex. You absolute buffoon. Slicing through these levels right now. Those bulls at the highs are caught right now. They are in pain. All right, we're coming into the sort of chop zone from yesterday. I want to be careful here. About to close the gap. PDC closed. That yellow line is our close. All right, that's gap fill. VIX in a hurry now. Man, why couldn't you do this earlier for me? Why couldn't we get alignment earlier? Nvidia, you're being beautiful now. You just had to trap for so long. Yeah, well, it is red, but it's on its PDC. It's gonna hang around here, red to green, red to green, red to green. It's just on its PDC right now. Rest of the market's red. Tesla 1.40% down. Nvidia basically flat. Meta 0.90% down. Amazon 0.87% down. Apple 0.76% down. Google just under 0.5% up, and Microsoft 0.13% up. Rest of the market all red. We're in a bleed. We have relative strength in NQ today. All the other indices are trading downside. We're getting sort of close to our 5-day here, so just be aware on the spiders, that is, I'm talking about, sorry. Be clear. And liquidity on the book, you can see they keep adding lower. 80s, 75s. We're not bidding. Remember, we do not guess bottoms. That is not how we trade. We wait for it to trade into the areas that we're interested in, and we wait to see if there's a reaction by bigger traders than us. And if there is, we can think about joining in. Until then, you should be holding your short positions and paying yourself along the way. I thought that looked different. That's better. Gap fill right here, 90s. There is liquidity lower, all the way down to 75 right now, which would be previous week high right here. Yeah, if we get under this, you're looking at POC from previous day, previous week high 76s, 61, 60s. These are big areas. These are daily and weekly areas, previous day low, and then previous week point of control 400. If we let go of that, whether it be today or another day, that is going to be a problem for the market. That's going to be like a signal that, hey, we're letting go of weekly levels at that point, and we'll expect a flush down and then trading lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, because we're going to leave weekly buyers trapped up here. If we do that, we're nowhere near that yet, but if we do that. Yeah, VIX is going for that 1520 coup, that little pivot that it did yesterday. Is it yesterday? What's the date today? Yeah, yesterday. We bounced yesterday and we sold through it. We're going to go back and test that 1520. If we get through that, we're going 1540s, 1550s. This is so tough to take, folks. It's tough to take. Watching trades that you want go without you. But there's always another day, right? There's another day. There's another session. Miguel, never say sorry for asking questions, dude. You're doing great. You're doing great. Never apologize for asking questions. If you don't ask, you never learn. If you don't ask, you don't get, as I always say. Nothing wrong with asking questions. All right, retesting here. If we start reclaiming, you know who will get trapped. But so far, momentum is very, very, very bearish today. Think about it. This day is different to other days. Why? It's our first. Well, it's potentially if we get under here, it's our first red day, right? That'd be your first red day setup. So far, we're not actually red on NQ, right? So we have a blow off top, breakout buyers trapped overnight. We now have overnight buyers trapped. Remember, this is yesterday. This is overnight. All these buyers now are trapped. If we don't let them out and we want to trade lower, this will be a very different scenario to we've had for the last few weeks. We would have to get under this for a reverse red day setup to happen. So I actually wouldn't mind a rebalance higher and that first red day to come later in the week. Based on weekly model, that would mean I have a very nice trade set up later in the week. But, you know, what I want and what the market would give me is definitely not the same. So trading back up on the VIX to that 1520 that I just talked about. 1519s now. This is a big pivot on VIX. Do they trade through this or do they reject here? Gap about to be filled. We haven't quite filled it yet. We were a tick or two short. So gap fill is 91.25. We traded lows of 92.50. A couple more ticks and we filled the gap here. ES about to bang into its 5-day here, folks. We're almost there. That yellow line is your gap fill. Still not done it. It's very, very, very close. We were like 2 ticks shy. So you can see there's covering into that gap fill. There is still liquidity lower. Look at the book map above me. 90s, 85s, 80s, 75s. There's still liquidity lower. But, you know, people will be proactive in taking profits into gap fill and into 5-day moving average on the ES. VIX through that 1520, or at least for a moment. Can't tell you how much I want to scream at myself for fluffing this trade. This is like a penny stock trade right now. It's beautiful. This was our bread and butter back in the day. There you go, taken. This was our bread and butter. Manipulation, blow off top, see you later. So it's trading like a Chinese piece of garbage right now on the penny stocks. All right, taken. Next level, previous week high, 76s. This little red dotted line. So if you're going to trail, you're just looking to trail into each of these levels. ES almost at previous day low. Big high time frame demand here on the spiders and ES. Okay, these are the lows from yesterday. We're finding a bid at. We found a bid here yesterday. We might find a bid here today. VIX now 1524s. Please do not guess bottoms, folks. All right, please do not guess bottoms. You're either in this short and you're managing your trade, or you're sat flat like me. Do not guess a bottom. Yeah, it happens, ERF, it happens. We can't be perfect, right? We cannot be perfect. We're humans. We make mistakes. It's just how it is. So this is POC from yesterday. Yeah. If we slice through this, we might go previous day low. It is possible. You might get a runner to hold really, really nicely now. So for the first day in a while, that longs have been trapped for the first day in a while. Remember, we have a weekly gap fill available. We gapped up Sunday. There is a weekly gap fill available if it really wants to do it. That would be to Friday's close. Still trading down. All right, previous week high here. So just keep holding your runners, folks. If you're in short, you just keep holding your runners. You should not be bidding in this. Momentum's very, very heavy. ES about to take previous day low. Nvidia puking, absolutely puking it all back. Previous day low coming up here on ES and spiders. Very, very close. Your low on ES is 0875 you're looking for. You traded just 1 point off it. So you're very close on ES to taking it. So if you're trading ES, nothing wrong with locking in. You're trading between the 5-day and the PDL right now. VIX now 1533. So reclaim the 20s. We're going. It's going to go for sort of 45s up to 50s. If we get through that and we get a spike on VIX day, I mean, any break over 1560, we can trade all the way up to 16s. And that will mean a very heavy market because we are going straight up on the VIX, which means we're going straight down on the market until it bottoms out. Like I said, pre-market, I thought I said it in Discord, but maybe I said it here. Very likely that you can see some profit taking going risk off given what the events are coming. We hit new all-time highs this morning above daily Bollinger Bands. That was a squeeze out this morning. If shorts start to get stuck in that squeeze out, it means major participants can pair off in the sell, because if shorts are covering, they're buying back the market, aggressively buying back the market at the open, which means if you're a buyer in that market, you can sell against them without being seen, which is perfect. It's literally like a perfect penny stock kind of play, but done with millions of contracts and billions of dollars. All right, this is previous week high here. What a miss! Ah, what a miss. It's hard, man. It's hard when you see it so well and you fluff it. All right, PDL taken on the ES and the spiders. VIX still going for that 1550s. I really hope some of you have absolutely smashed it today. Drop those W's in chat. Hopefully some of you have absolutely killed it today. As we keep trading lower. Morning, Bella. Yeah, lots of you getting this. I know lots of you are getting this. Beautiful. Beautiful sell. There you go. Sell signal, and we go. See you later. All right. Previous days and previous week value area highs taken. Next low hanging fruit is this green line, previous day low. And then after that, previous week close and previous week point of control down here. If we let go of this, okay, if we let go of this from a weekly point of view, this is a major, major problem for the market, in that we will have all this participation will be offside, and that's weekly participation. And given that we're coming into seasonality, this can very easily happen at that point. Nice, John. Good work. Good work, everyone. Good work, Marek. All right, ES coming back to backtest that PDL now. So it's flushed under it. It's going to backtest PDL and 5-day. You've got to be paying yourself along the way here, folks. You have to be paying yourself. We're starting to get extended from these flow zones, from 5-minute flow zones, which are effectively your deep pullback. We're very extended, right? So expect bounces at some point. We haven't hit all the targets, but this was a massive level, wasn't it? Previous week value area high, previous day value area low. We know this is a big level. Now, if they want to trap underneath it, they'll flush this and then reclaim it. Phenom, how did you blow 2 fundeds? Sorry to hear that. Are you bidding against the market, Phenom? Longing on the way up and short. You lost longing on the way up and shorting on the way down. You longed. Where did you long? You longed this out the gate. You must have chased both sides. I would assume. I don't know how else you've lost that, but it will come, Ken. It will come. It's just time and experience in the market, like everything. 10,000 hours in the market. That's all it is. ES rejecting 5-day and previous day low right now. I think we're going to gun for this previous day low on NQ. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to trade into this pool at this moment. It's so heavy. And I would say on days like this, what happens is, because we've had months and months and months of buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the trap, buy the trap, buy the trap, they fail to understand that this is different kind of momentum, because we created a blow off top, right? We've created a blow off top. We're thin up there, and then we rolled it. So buying on the way down on days like today, where they've got away with that buy the dip retail mentality, well, today they're not getting away with it, because it's a bigger sell based on higher time frame, but based on failing daily levels. If we think about that daily level, we failed the daily level above the Bollinger Band. We can trade back down to that 5-day if we want, which will be 23,420s basically. Down here is where your 5-day moving average is. It is around here, with your previous day low, with your previous week close, with an old anchored VWAP, with previous week point of control. So that's where people get stuck, where they get used to doing something. You know, buy the dip has worked since April. We're about to move into August. I'll be right back here, folks. All right. Starting to see some reaction from the market here. VIX failing in front of those 1550s. We just talked about that. It's failed. It came all the way up to 1546. Not a big fail. It can just be a pullback to absorb, right? It can be a pullback to absorb. We've been straight down in this trend in this market. We've come to a big high time frame level. If we pull back and hold this and start reclaiming, there will be a counter trend long, right, back up towards some of these key levels. Let's see where this is. Here's your value area low on the day. So if we start to reclaim these areas, there is a potential like counter trend squeeze back up, and then I expect at some point that will stop and we'll trade sideways for the day because sellers would have had, you know, made their money. Bulls will start to grip it, push it higher, and then they'll start to just sort of wait for tomorrow, let's say. So let's see what happens here. Trading into those previous week highs. Just wanted to check that level. Yeah, previous week highs. So it's your first 5-minute bar, which is closed bullish for 35 minutes here. And it hasn't really closed bullish. It's still inside, but it's your first green bar. Let's call it that. There are still levels that it can trade down to. Previous day low is still there. All these levels are still here for the taking. Yeah, Coop, because I think their guidance on AMD is going to be massive. It's undervalued. It is undervalued. It only needs a small bit of market share, and it is going to rocket. It's absolutely going to rocket. Let's have a look at the book. Is there much under? There is still some under. How about ES? Yes, 400s on ES is still there. What about under that? Oh, yeah. You can see all these buyers on ES. Look, trying to absorb, trying to absorb, trying to absorb, trying to absorb, trying to absorb. Like, they're not helping themselves. They are not helping themselves with what I was talking about. They will just keep trying to do it. Mentally, it's really hard, right? When you're so used to playing one way, when that flips, that's when they get caught off guard. If we close red today, tomorrow could be a follow-through day if it wasn't FOMC. But I will not be trading FOMC. I do not trade FOMC. I would bank on that he will not change a thing and that he will say we'll revisit it in September, but progress looks good. And then the questions will be, Trump wants to fire you because you're not making cuts. Do you feel pressure? Blah, 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 blah. What do you think about tariffs? Blah, 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 blah. And the algos would do this. And I will just let everyone else trade that. Let everyone else trade it. Okay, we're starting to hold these lows at the moment. Still, flow is bearish, but we are starting to hold those lows. There is a bar on the takedown at 35s, which is basically just beneath previous day low. You got previous week close at 21s, and I've got some old anchored VWAPs into the low 400s as well. We are starting to see some action here. Watching these 5-minute bars on VIX as well to see if it builds a 5-minute flag or if it's going to really fail this supply at the top of the range. That, again, we talked about this morning. Here we go. We've traded all the way up to the top of this range on VIX. It's exactly what we talked about. Reclaim this, we go up here. Trying to reclaim previous day point of control at the moment and current day value area low. That's what they're looking at. Are they going to stay red on the session, which would mean rejecting this yellow line, which is the old close? Or is this going to be a failure underneath that and some mean reversion back up, maybe towards here, all right, where we have some volume and previous day high, and then do they sell from that back down? So I'm wondering if it's going to happen now or later, if they're going to do this move here or they're going to do this move here and then offer a sell back down potentially, especially if they do it from here, because by that point the VWAPs will be here to support that action. That's exactly it, John. That's exactly it, John. They became conditioned. That's exactly it. And that's often how the market likes to operate. It does something for long enough and long enough and long enough and long enough, but this feels like a top today. Why does it feel like a top right now? Well, I'd say because we made the high in Asia and then we took it with volume in New York and trapped. And that is often, I would never say in this market, almost never when we make a top is it made during Asia. It's almost always run in New York session. So this is starting to feel like a higher time frame sell signal to me. I cannot be selling down here, as we know. It goes against my rules because when we zoom out, all we are doing is coming into higher time frame levels here. We would need to see a bounce. Ideally, tomorrow, sell Thursday, Friday, which basically means that those earnings are going to have to be a problem. Which is, I mean, unless we sell the, like, buy the rumor, sell the news. Maybe. Maybe. Nice, Jeff. Good work, everyone. Good work, everyone making money here. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Vic's definitely building that bull flag right now, folks. That if Vic starts breaking out over, what's that previous days? 1555, 1560, market's in big trouble. Oh, Bella, I've just seen your email. If you're still in chat, thank you so much. Just seen that. Yeah, looking forward to getting that done. Here goes VIX, bull flag building. New high day on VIX. Watching those 1550s, 1560s. New low of day in the spiders. Will ES join in here? I mean, NQ join in, take previous day low. Looks like it, doesn't it? That's why you can't bid on anything until it proves. How many buyers keep stepping in here? Lots. Lots and lots and lots and lots. Yeah, Nvidia's trading down to its high time frame algorithm now. So 175.26 high time frame algorithm, 5-day moving average and previous day low on Nvidia are at 174s. And there goes 1554 on the VIX. Can it break out? Can it break out? I cannot believe what I've done today missing this. This is about as good as it gets, folks. But at least I'm honest with you. At least I am honest with you. Called it, fluffed it, and it's working for all of you lot. And at least I'm honest and not compounding anything. Very close to previous day low here on NQ. You would expect it to get taken. If they don't take it and they pump back up, they will come back for it. You would expect it to get taken. Liquidity on the book here. 35.30s. Here you go. It's going to get taken. Tap, 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 tap. Did we take it yet? You're a tick short. You're a tick short. They will take it. They might pump back up before they take it, but they will take it, I would have thought, unless they're really, really, really nasty. And if they take it and they sell, we could easily get down to these levels. So this is a previous week close. This is where we closed last week. And this is the previous week's point of control. And then beneath that, we've got a previous week value area low. So that would go, this would mean we're going into all of the previous week's volume down here with strong momentum. I would expect them to try and hold this. Anywhere in here, this is the same thing we were thinking about pre-market. Anywhere in here, there's a trade down to this level, and then we expect them to try and hold somewhere around here. Because if you're a short seller today, unless you're a swing short and you're like, right, well, I think FOMC is going to be bad, and Apple and Microsoft and everything else. I can't remember what the other earnings are. There's 4 of them this week. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, is it? They've got to come back for that low. There's no way they leave that low by a tick. Get out of it. 38.25. 3 ticks. No, 2 ticks. Or is it more than that? 8. It's more than that. It's 1.5 ticks. Horrible. Am I getting rusty? Yeah. I'm rusty. What am I going to do? 130 bucks down on each account for the day when I should be up thousands on each account. But what? It's just, it is what it is, man. It's funny. It's just a funny game once you can laugh at it. Let's pull this out. Right, another rejection of 71 should clean this up. If they start reclaiming, though, I will hate this if they leave that like that. It's going to make the long impossible if they leave it like that. You can't leave it like that, NQ. You can't. Oh, Bowden, I've blown up all my accounts. I was long all the way down, guessing the bottoms. I've blown up $80,000. No, I haven't really. I was short. I was looking for the short at 10 o'clock and didn't take the short at 10 o'clock because there was 10 o'clock news, which meant I took a breakdown short, probably about 20 points lower or 15 points lower than I wanted. I didn't take profit on that swing low. I didn't leave my stop where I should have, and I ate a tiny loss only to watch it go without me. Yeah, no, nothing major. Just laughable. All right, pretty big reaction there. You can see the volume stepping in. I want to see this get taken, honestly, before it starts thinking about doing what it's doing now. Liquidity at 35s and 30s. So they might do a 2-leg with a little trap high and then come back for it. Maybe. ES banging into previous day low and 5-day moving average at the moment. VIX swept the liquidity, starting to fail. Come on, NQ, come and take it. Otherwise, I don't get a trade at all. I'm coming into lunch. Yeah, long all the way down, Nate. I started longing. People do it, man. You laugh, but I started longing here. Thought we were going to break out. Added and added and added and added and added and added and added. Then I added really heavy here. And I took a bit off and then added and added and added and added and added and added. It happened. Hey, people do that. You laugh. But why did this do this? Is because shorts, when hey, I'm short and 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 I hit max pain and then it comes here and then they go, I knew I was right. I knew I was right to short. That's literally what they do. That's literally what they do. I knew I was right. I knew it was going down. Hey, guess what? You wait around in the market long enough, you're always going to be right. It's like that guy, I can't remember his name. There's a guy on YouTube who's constantly posting, I think the top's in. The top's in. We're going to have a pullback. I called the bottom here. I called the bottom here. Now I think we're going to have a pullback. And he says it for like 8 weeks in a row. And then he goes, I told you I was right. Dude, shut your gob. You were wrong for 8 weeks in a row. If you say it's a top every single day for 8 weeks, of course you're going to be right. At some point, there's going to be a pullback. You absolute muggy prick. You're just lying to your followers. This is a dirty, dirty play here, folks. This is dirty, leaving that on NQ. You are a horrible, 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 horrible indices leaving that. That is Naughty, naughty, naughty. Don't trust this whatsoever. We'll probably come back for it. We'll probably do this and come back for it later. And I wanted the relief trade up, but I wanted to see it take it. All right, ES reclaiming previous day low. Nvidia bouncing off the high time frame algorithm. What is that? What is that? Some short got stuck, didn't he, at the lows? Oh, how are you going to do me like that, NQ? How are you going to do me like that? Shorts now stuck. We're going to trade higher, and then once all the shorts are blown out, we'll trade back down to that low, I would imagine. There's lots of relief to be had here, though, folks. All right, there's lots and lots of relief to be had here. Think about this. It's just trend down all day. I'd say this level from yesterday is probably key. God, these charts look messy with everything so tight. Honestly, can you believe it? Why did you not just take that for me? They're stacking on this book. You can see, look at all this liquidity higher right now. Sellers trying to get involved here. 10s, 15s, 20s. They're stacking. Let's have a look at ES. ES the same. 15s and 20s. They want to come back lower. They're just trying to get filled on a pop. I think we want to squeeze out a little bit and then probably come back down and retest that low. That's probably what's going to happen. Johannes, you got a big W on that long. Good for you. I don't know where you bid off. Maybe the reclaim of the previous week value area high. Don't oversize it. Don't overstay your welcome. Look at VIX now failing back into that range. Oh my gosh. We are a little liquidity whore today with NQ not playing ball properly. Honestly, NQ, how have you done me dirty not taking that low? You're taking away my tradability here. So now I'm going to wait for the short. I'm going to wait for a little drive up. I'm going to wait for shorts to get squeezed out. I'm going to wait for ideally a two-leg, some form of failure, and then maybe a trade back down towards that low. Once these bulls get exhausted, once these shorts stop out. Yeah, they might well. They might well. Like this kind of level here, previous day, New York high will be key. We're starting to see some relief, which is overdue. You think about, we've been selling pretty much consistently since 9:40 this morning. So 2 and a bit hours of selling. Think about that 30-minute chart, hourly chart, sorry. 514s will be key. Look at that old wick on a 30 and an hourly 514s, I'd say. Do they reject that? Come back down towards the low, sweep the low, and then maybe they're done. I don't know. Oh, is there news there? Thank you. I was searching for it, but I couldn't see anything. Still not hit anything on mine. Doesn't mean it's not there. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, here you go. It's not followed through to me. We will continue to maintain communication. Both sides will continue to push forward for extensions of pause and reciprocal tariffs, as well as Chinese countermeasures. Oh, great. So we're going to extend past August 1st then. Thanks, Taco Boy. What a joke. So more indecision then if they're not going to make their mind up by the 1st. Yippee. That pleases me. Not. Did anyone watch the new episode of South Park? Oh my god, that might be the best episode ever. So good. So good. It's unbelievable. I love the balls on those lot to do all of that. I want the t-shirt saying like woke is dead that Cartman wears. It's so funny. So good. If you haven't seen it, it's basically all on the Trump administration. It's unbelievable. And they use his actual face, and the part with Canada is unreal. Yeah, please watch it. If you haven't watched South Park, please watch. It's a new episode of the new series. White House is already pushing for it to be pulled down, so watch it while you can. Apparently, some good Diddy episodes in it. Unbelievable. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Watched it last night. I was crying in fits of laughter. As long as you're neutral bias and you can have a laugh, it is funny. All right, VIX, you are horrible. Just straight dive down after stealing previous day high liquidity. Liquidity here on the book. You can see it right above me on the book map. 30s. Stacked up to 30s. Do they get a quick pop up to 30s initial balance high? Remember, this is the level. This is previous day New York session high where we got stuck up before. It's also Globex right here. Initial balance above it. VWAP all the way above it. I actually wanted this long, but I wanted us to sweep and then offer me this counter trend long back up. So at this point, I'm going to have to wait for a short. Unless they're going to be extra gross and go all the way on a V-shaped recovery all day, which I don't think we will. I think we'll drive up, find some failure, come back down, test this level, and then maybe bottom out. So full through Globex, trading up towards that New York high. They're adding liquidity now. 20s, 25s, 30s, 45s now on the book. I expect this to get stuck somewhere up here at some point. This is a relief rally trading through. This is the old hourly high where we're at now. This is why I was saying this is a big level in this market. Hourly high? What am I talking about? It's the old hourly low. Oh my God, Alex, you're full idiot mode today. Here we go. Reaction off it. Short in here. Small size. See if we can make a little bit back. If it holds, I'm not interested. All right, taking profits there. Just scalping a little bit back. Wait for it to prove. But if you're wondering, where's my OBS gone? So I can show you. I'm watching this level here. Right, this is where we think failed, pushed up, failed. This level here up to here is key. And I'm looking for this move here and then probably this move here. Because we haven't given a retest. Oh, it's going to do it while I'm on the wrong screen. No! Oh, my timing today. Come on. You're killing me here, market. I get OBS over my screen and then I can't move it. All right. Oh, you gotta laugh. Your timing. You got to laugh. All right. If they hold this pivot, this is a W. Right. If they hold this pivot, it will be a long from here. The only thing I don't like is this down here being left, which is why I'm actually sort of looking for an exhaustive move and then see if we get this and then back up. What is the name of the South Park episode? It's series. Let me find it. It's the first episode of the new series. It's called like Jesus on a mound or something. Hang on. Sermon on the Mount is what it's called. Sermon on the Mount. Ugh. So watching how they react at PDC. I'm sort of in two minds now at this point, reclaiming these levels. I still think, I hate that they've left that liquidity like that down there. I still think we probably come back for it, but they need to protect this shelf here. Okay, so this is how we operate. Where we're thin, you would not expect it to trade through this. All right, so you would expect it to stay heavy versus this. Here and here and here possible. Reclaiming this, very dangerous, but you would not expect that to happen. Normally we protect. This is like a true, if you want to call it, fair value gap. This is basically a true imbalance in the market. We should not come and fill that. And if we do attempt to reclaim previous day and IB, then we will, in fact, probably then trade all the way up to 560s. But I would, I know this has gone long short term, but I'd almost be waiting for the short to come and take that liquidity out lower at this point. But you just have to see how this market operates now, sort of stuck between ranges. How long we got here? Oh, we're into lunch. I'm actually going to have to go. And I don't want to because I think there's a trade setting up. But I've got to walk my dog and then I've got a podcast after this. So I'm going to run out of time. Maybe we'll give it 5 minutes. Nightmare session for me. Well, it's not really. If your nightmare's this little, it's not a problem. Yeah, see, this is bear flag territory. I wouldn't want it to trade into 50. I really wouldn't want it to trade into VWAP. I'd be a bit concerned about that. At least you have a shelf above protecting, but yeah, you can see this here. This is where shorts got trapped under here. It's always the same thing. Always the same thing. And I would have taken that long if we'd just done that. It's all it had to do was just take that. That's all it had to do for me to get long. Austin Silver's podcast, recording episode of that after this. ASFX. Yeah, Peter, it's annoying. And like I said, when it does that, now I normally think it comes back for it. The problem is the divergence with ES, because ES has traded below previous day low, right? ES has been a good boy, right, and traded below it and reclaimed. So this divergence here, if they hold this on ES, can it trade up to there? Absolutely, because it's taken out low-hanging fruit. So they're just making it really hard on NQ. Really, really hard on NQ. You can see these daily and weekly levels respected. The only reason I'm thinking about a short back down is because we haven't retested it. So maybe one more pop up and a short back down to hit, and then a long. But we're in lunch. I've got to go. I've got to stop looking at this because I'm going to convince myself that there's something here. I think there are trades for the rest of the day. So what I'd be looking at is there's two options. If we hold this, you will get the second leg up. At that point, you will want to see failure and a retest of this area here. All right, if they hold the retest, this is a bullish rotation zone because it's undervalued area low and it's protecting this. If they don't hold it, right, if you're short here, you must be cover, hold runner and runner beyond previous day low for here. And then anything beyond that is an absolute bonus, right? Because this is your main trend. This is your counter leg. This is the main trend resuming again. This level here you can see is key because this is where we're pivoting over. So if they hold this, they have a new attempt up here. You want to see that protected if you're short. If they do not protect this edge, you cannot be trying short in here because this is them reclaiming all key levels. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So this is a relief rally of previous day and previous week areas. All right, folks, I have to go. I don't want to go. I'd love to be here with you all day. But I have to go right now and walk my dog. What I can do, if you want, is leave bookmap up for you. If you want me to do that. Thanks, DK. Do you want like bookmap big screen left up for you? Will that be useful while I walk the dog? I'll have to take it down when I'm doing the interview, but we can leave it up like this. All right, I'll leave bookmap up big for you like this. All right, folks. Big love. Trade safe. Hopefully some of you got that short. Just be careful now looking for that retest of the low. If you're going to take the short for the retest of the low, you've got to let it fail. Ideally, you have 2 legs before it fails. And then you must respect those lows. You must be covering into the lows because the main damage is done. All right. The main damage on the day is done. So it's covering into the lows, into the key areas, and then holding runners in case it wants to break down lower. All right. But do not try and prematurely long this. All right. Do not prematurely long this. All right, folks. Big love. And remember, we're basically neutral on the day. We're still protecting the old daily and weekly ranges. We're still protecting the 5-day. All the time we're doing that. You know, yes, we've got buyers trapped up highs, but just remember, please, just keep thinking about who's stuck, where are they stuck? Who's stuck, where are they stuck? Shorts are currently stuck underneath 475. You could even say underneath 490s. All right, bulls are currently stuck up into, I'd say, really the liquidation break happened 540 and 560. Those are your levels. All right, peace and love, folks, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.